Hello, everyone. This is Jane Klein. I'm the Director of Client Strategy at CounselingWise, and I'm here to talk to you about a phase in your website development project that we refer to as strategy work. I'm going to talk about this optional work that you may decide to pursue. So, who needs strategy work before they go into a kickoff and actually commence building their site? Well, let's start off first of all with the easy part, and that's people who do not need strategy work. So you probably do not need strategy work if you have a website currently and your practice centers around traditional areas such as, depression, anxiety treatment, couples therapy, and also you're happy with your branding and message. So if you can answer yes to those three things, then you don't need strategy work. We're going to take what you actually currently have and we're just going to make it look better. We're going to make it sound better. We're going to make the text more compelling. We're going to do lots of things for your new site, but you're probably not a candidate for strategy work. Okay, who does need strategy work? There's a number of people who are candidates. So if you have never had a website, we really recommend a client strategy session. You'll need the strategy step to help our team capture your voice and conceptualize a direction for your practice. So it's time very well spent to sit down. I go off your kickoff form. I come up with a proposed architecture for your site, and I also create an agenda that asks all kinds of branding questions, everything from what do you want your URL to be to do you agree that these specialties and these modalities are what you want reflected. So if you've never had a website, great time to sit down and have some strategy discussions. Okay, if you own a group practice and you want to drive more traffic to your site to keep your therapist busy, you need some strategy work, okay? So a group practice usually offers multiple specialties, and oftentimes they will confuse modalities with specialties with therapists, and so in other words, often fuzzy navigation architecture will say, I do EMDR, and we also have therapists who do EFT, and we have therapists who do depression counseling, and we have therapists who do anxiety and couples therapy, and we also do cognitive behavioral therapy. Well, that's kind of mixing apples and oranges, right? You've got modalities in there with specialties, and I see a lot of times with group practices that things get very confused very quickly. So it's a really good idea if you have a group practice and you have multiple therapists in that practice and you want to really drive searches to land on particular pages and then connect them with a therapist who deals with that, you probably need a strategy session. You probably need strategy work if you have a non-traditional practice or niche, okay? This could include many number of things, including coaching, spirituality, perhaps you have a national focus, or even multiple types of addiction, counseling, porn addiction, sex addiction, alcohol addiction, drug addiction. So there are lots of, again, things tend to get very mixed up. So oftentimes a non-traditional therapist will have a hard time determining the focus keyword. So for example, if you want to, let's say, you are a spirituality coach for women and you really want those women to find their tribe, okay? So I'm probably going to do a keyword analysis for you and recommend that we call the page spiritual coaching for women versus find your spiritual tribe, or because that doesn't get any average monthly search volume. So I'll help you find a focus keyword that is actually one that people will type in that would drive traffic to your unusual or non-traditional niche. Okay, so that's addressed in the strategy phase as well. You probably need strategy work if you need coaching on your brand and you really wanted to discuss with someone a new business name, maybe a new URL. Maybe your URL so far has always been your name, so it's been Dr. MelanieJohnson.com, and you wonder, should it be Santa Rosa Anxiety counselor.com. If you don't know the answer to that question, you might need some strategy work. Should you change your business name from Melanie Johnson LLC or LCW to LLC? Those kinds of things. If you're wondering about the sort of big picture direction of your brand, of your website, what you really want to communicate, you could benefit from a strategy session. Same thing with logos. Now, photo choice. Photos get discussed whether or not you have a strategy session. So don't worry. If you're just worried about photos, you don't need a strategy session with me. If you are confused about the differences between specialties, demographics, modalities, or if you want to discuss a focus or niche of your practice, you need strategy work. So again, I'll see a lot of times people will say, I do teen anxiety and animal-assisted therapy and wilderness therapy and teen addiction and EFT. And well, it's like, that's very confusing to the end user and to Google if those are all jumbled together. So we want to silo those out, and I do a good job of stripping down what is a specialty, what's a demographic, what's a modality, and really making a clear structure for your navigation, because good website navigation architecture leads to longer page duration, which leads to a better user experience, and which leads to more clients in the end. During strategy work, I'm going to help you clearly communicate what you do, help you determine the keywords that people will be searching on to find someone like you in Google or Bing or Yahoo. And then we plan the site architecture around those keywords. And I create the architecture is completely tailored to your site. This is just a sample. It could be sort of home, anxiety treatment. Maybe you do obsessive compulsive disorder, panic. See, this is all the treatments here under anxiety. Then you might do these other treatments. And then these are your demographics, who I treat. And again, everything is done completely tailored to exactly what you do. So this is not a template here at all. This is, I really pour over your current site if you have one and your kickoff form to determine the best way to, and the most logical way to explain via search engines to the end user, build a bridge of communication to that person who wants to find what you offer, okay, that potential client. Your project manager will discuss whether strategy work is right for you and how it may benefit the process of creating your site. So if you have any questions about strategy sessions, please just talk to your project manager, and we'll be very happy, he or she will be really happy to discuss at greater length whether they think it's appropriate and will be beneficial for you. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that to see you in a strategy session if you do need one. Thanks so much.